All right, let's go. Another week, let's get into it. So this week I had one shoot day and I had one potential client meeting. Not a bad week overall. Let's dive into this shoot day. First off, I did catch some BTS this time. So this shoot actually, in full disclosure, was an unpaid shoot. This actually was a shoot that I did for my 9-to-5 job. We needed some internal videos for some leader training and equipping, and I volunteered my skill set and my equipment and went ahead and shot these videos. So unpaid, just volunteered time, but still good to get the reps in, still good to get the practice in. You can see we're in this kind of small but actually decently aesthetic room with some nice practicals in the background. So we just went with the Nanlite 300 on the lantern, kind of put that up into the ceiling to get some nice film. So it was sort of more of what you would call like a corporate style lighting, high key lighting, I guess would be the term. So didn't want anything too contrasty, too moody, but you can see here, this was a teleprompter shoot, which I don't do a ton of, but I do own one. So I got to pull that out. So we have the A7 IV actually as our A-cam with the teleprompter. It just makes it easier to get the teleprompter on that rig. On a 16-28, that's a Sigma lens, fits in there nicely, so we're just at 28 mil. So running the teleprompter off the iPad, and then the B-cam was the FX30 with our DZO Vespid Prime 50mm lens. So, kind of a funny bringing out the cinema lens, but I have it, want to use it, why not? So I'll show you here now what this footage actually looked like. So, I actually got to be both behind the camera and in front of the camera for this shoot. So this is our A-cam angle. Nice practicals in the background. You kind of have a little bit of that blue contrast with the sign and the orange and the light. So we're just getting the teleprompter dialed in here. And then you can see this is our B-cam angle. So something a little more cinematic than I might traditionally use, only in the fall off. I mean, it's so minimal, but you can kind of tell that this isn't just a straight up sharp clinical photo lens. And I was running 8th mist filters. Wow, there are my words, on both these lenses. So, I actually really like this image on that 50mm. So this is how it came out. And this was the talking part. Overall, fun shoot, pretty easy. It was in and out in like 2 hours. Now, in the last vlog, I showed you that cold call I had with a local gym, and I want to follow up on that because I had the meeting with that gym's GM this last week, and it went really well. We met for about half an hour. I drove out to the gym. The bulk of the conversation was actually us just getting to know each other, building relationship, finding common ground, shared interests, gym, exercise. I like to run, so marathon training, running, that sort of stuff. And then we just kind of talked about past experience with social media, with digital marketing. I was able to ask a lot of questions about their business, how they drive leads, how they find clients, what some of their pain points are, and then pitch my services as a way to help ultimately drive new membership for their gym. So felt really good about the meeting. Of course, he's the GM, not the owner, so he needed to go back to his owner, share the details of what we talked about. And what he ultimately asked me for was to email him something on paper, just outlining what we had talked about so that he could show the owner. So what I wanted to do is show you this little pitch deck that I put together. I would actually love feedback on this down in the comments. If you're a full-time videographer, filmmaker, if you do this kind of stuff for a living, I would love if you could help me out here and just give me feedback on, one, that cold call from last week, but also on this pitch deck, because I'm continually trying to improve this process and I'm very new at it. So this is the power of YouTube. I love getting feedback from all of you out there who are farther ahead in your career than I am and who are actually crushing it. So, just put together a 4-slide pitch deck. You can see kind of this opening slide, their logo, my logo, just kind of saying what is. And then I put just an objective slide, went back and forth between mission or goals, or I ended on objective. So to create high quality, compelling content that highlights the facilities, expertise, and community of D1 Spring Hill to drive membership growth through effective digital marketing. Just wanted something that sounded good, that kind of summarized the purpose and the value that I could bring to them. So hopefully that does that well. And then these are kind of the one package, but with the add-on that we had talked about that I outlined. So this social package, 1 shoot day a month with 8 short-form vertical deliverables per month, 60 to 90 seconds within 48 hours delivered of the shoot day. And then I added in a 30-minute pre-production call before each shoot day so we could get on the same page about promotions they might be running, different CTAs that they might want to include, different stories that they might want to highlight. So I priced that at $1,500 a month, 1 shoot day, 8 deliverables. I felt like that was a pretty fair and good place to start. But once again, I would love to hear kind of down below, anyone who has experience doing this kind of stuff, what you're charging and how that sits with you. Now, I'm going to be honest, social media content is not what I'm passionate about. It's not ultimately what I really want to be doing, but I do think that's where a lot of the money is. So I did include this branded content piece on this pitch deck because ultimately that's the kind of work I'm passionate about, right? Storytelling, more long form content. That's what I would love to be doing. To me, that just feels like a harder sell. So, you know, for the pricing, I just put per video basis because I'm not 100% sure how to price out those assets. And maybe I was too vague for this to be effective. So once again, I'd love your feedback on that. But I just said long form brand assets to highlight the stories, mission, and value that D1 Spring Hill brings to the community. So think testimonials, think, spots highlighting kind of their ownership group and their origin story, or like mini doc pieces, branded content pieces, things that could live on their website, go out through targeted email campaigns. You know, that's really the kind of content I want to create. But, you know, in hindsight, I'm thinking I maybe should have been a little more tangible and specific in what kind of videos and how much they would actually cost. You know what I mean? Maybe that's $800 for a half-day shoot and 1 3 to 4 minute testimonial video. I don't know. You know, that's part of it, is I'm kind of learning how to price this stuff in real time. So, and then I just ended with this, you know, just kind of slide with 2 logos on it. So, you know, it's snowing right now, which means everything is closed all weekend. Hopefully I hear back on Monday. I shot this out, had that meeting on a Thursday, so I'd love to hear back. If not, I'll follow up on Monday. But you know, that's sort of it on the calendar right now, which means once the snow clears up and businesses open again, I really need to hit the cold calling hard, because right now we still only have the 1 shoot on the calendar, the 1 paid shoot on the calendar for this month at $1,000, which it's just not going to cut it for where I want to be. And I don't have any other prospects or any other clients in the pipeline at the moment. Production Hub is pretty dry right now in my area. There's really not much going on. Facebook hasn't really turned up much. So I got to find a way to drive clients, to find new business, and to ultimately try and drive revenue for my business. So hopefully if the snow clears up on Monday, we can start cold calling again, get back out there. And you know, maybe not just cold calling, maybe cold approaching, actually walking into businesses with my camera in hand, pitching my services and say, hey, I will shoot you a free video right now. Can we do it? That was something I didn't do with this cold call. Is you know, I didn't really offer to shoot a free video because they were just open to having me come in and meet with them. Maybe if they come back with some hesitancy, you know, I might say, well, hey, let me shoot a free video. That way you can get a feel for my work, what kind of value I provide, and then we can go from there. You know, that might be a tactic that I employ, but I'll keep you all updated on that. As always, appreciate you guys hanging out. You know, let me know how I can grow. You know, I'm so grateful for all y'all's comments and help down below, and being along with me on this journey. So here's to next week. Peace.